Ladies and gentlemen, I go by the name of Arlo Maverick. I'm a man of many hats who just happens to rap, and today we're talking about submitting your music for an award nomination. Now, regardless of whether you put out an album, whether you put out an EP, whether you put out a mixtape, whether you put out a single, or even if you release a music video, if there is an opportunity for you to submit your music for an award nomination, then you should make that investment. And the reason why I say you should make that investment is that one of the most important things you can get out of an award nomination from submitting your music for a nomination is creating awareness about your music. Now, as artists, we create music and then we release it, and a lot of times we tend to look at things like awards and say, well, what if I don't get a nomination, then it wasn't worth it. But at the end of the day, if you are creating music, then everything that allows your music to get from being heard by one group of people to a larger group of people should be considered an investment because of the fact that it creates awareness. Now, when I say create awareness, I say that in multiple senses. Now, I sit on the Rap Advisory Committee for the Junos, and one of my duties is reaching out to artists who I know who have released music within the designated time period and asking them if they need assistance with applying for the nomination. Now, one of the things that tends to happen once we gather all the submissions and all music comes through is that I'm able to introduce people to artists that they may not be aware of, and other people are able to introduce me to people that I may not have been aware of, and we all also find out about artists that we weren't even aware of who just happen to hear about the Junos, which is such a great thing because this is what I tend to call the discovery process. Now, in the discovery process, we're hearing artists from sometimes popular parts and sometimes less popular parts of Canada who are making great music but may not have come up on our radar. Now, it's important in this sense in that everyone who's part of the Rap Advisory Committee is someone who's involved in the music industry in some sort of way. So it could be a person who's an A&R, it could be someone who is a producer or a DJ or a club promoter or anything within any possible facet of the music industry. Now, what's important about this is that you have industry insiders who are now aware of your music. But if you take it one step further, once the jury actually begins to hear your music, now you have another group of people who are hearing your music. And whether or not you get the nomination or not, you have made it to the point of getting into the ears of multiple people who may not have been aware of you. Now, there's only 5 slots that are available for most award submissions, so that means that there's a chance you may get selected, you may not get selected. But at the end of the day, if you don't get selected, you now have had the opportunity to have your music heard by multiple people who are now checking for you. You are now on their radar. But what is also important is that you've actually given yourself a chance to compete, which a lot of people don't do because they're afraid that they're not going to get the nomination. Now, let's say you do get the nomination after submitting your application. You are now given the opportunity to be promoted on a larger scale, where every single time the nomination is mentioned or the nominees are mentioned, your name will be also included in this. This is promotion on someone else's dime, and you didn't have to pay a single cent for this, which benefits you as an artist. Now, keep in mind that with this nomination, and let's not even get to the point of winning yet, let's just look at the nomination. Now, you get this nomination. You can now include on any of your promotional pieces, Juno nominated artist, Western Canadian Music Award nominated artist, Grammy nominated artist, whatever the award is, you could always have that as part of your promotional tool in order to get you shows, in order to get you grants, whatever it may be, because now it is something that says that a jury of your peers recognized what you were doing to the point that they felt that, hey, you should be one of these nominees. Now, again, whether you win or you don't win, that nomination now goes so much further. Let's say you do win the award, right? The work doesn't stop there, much like it doesn't stop once you get a nomination. That means that you now have this award, but what are you going to do with it, right? The ball is now in your court. So what are you going to do in order to actually make sure that this nomination or this award actually brings you to the next level, takes you to the next step, right? Because the work doesn't stop there just because you got the nomination, right? Which I think a lot of people fail to realize, that no matter what step you're at, even if you don't get the nomination, there are people who have never gotten a nomination but still continue to work hard and create awareness. But having this nomination is something that you could add to your resume, but it's also something that you can use to book you tours, book you festivals, possibly get you more grant funding, build more fans, allow people to just be aware of who you are and what you're doing. Let's backtrack a bit here and let's look at what needs to happen prior to you getting this application, submitting for a nomination, and possibly getting a nomination or possibly getting an award. Now, Prior to all of this, you create this product that you're so passionate about. You spend all this time in the studio, you're working hard, spending your money, possibly applying for a grant to help pay for the funding. You're working with this producer, you're working with that producer, you're getting the best of the best people. Now your product is out. Regardless of whether you are trying to get a nomination, an award, or anything else, it's on you as an artist to promote that product like it is the only thing that matters. Stand behind your music. Promote your music so that when it comes time for you to submit for a nomination, you can feel confident inside knowing that, hey, I've promoted this album the best way that I can, and I have a fighting chance. But if you don't promote it the best way that you can, then you're gonna doubt yourself. And that skepticism or that uncertainty you have is gonna make you say, you know what? Oh man, $65, $95, all of a sudden now that's factoring into your decision, as opposed to it being a situation of, hey, I believe in this product because it's a great product and I've marketed it and I've promoted it to my best abilities, and I know that if this thing goes through, then I at least have a chance. But if you haven't promoted it, then in the back of your head, you're probably gonna think to yourself, do I really deserve this award? If you deserve it, then pull forward a nomination. Life after your nomination. Now, after you've gotten this nomination, or after you've possibly gotten the award, the work doesn't stop there. This has now opened up more doors for you to continue to create awareness about your music, to build more fans, to make your name stronger within the music industry, and hopefully acquire a stronger team. In closing, if you enjoyed the information and found yourself more enlightened by the time that this vlog was done, then please click like. Also, make sure to subscribe to the Arlo Maverick YouTube channel so you can check out these vlogs that hopefully are providing you with more information and helping build on your knowledge as far as music goes. But until the next episode, peace.